Arc Raider's new Bird City map condition is here, and it will make you very, very rich. And it will also give you the chance to find some of these cute new little rubber duckies. There's a bunch to find, whether you want to go and collect all of them, or make a bunch of money, or make some progress towards your provisions in the expedition. This Bird City event is definitely going to help. The main problem with the Bird City event is that it's not active very often. The best thing you can do is go to metaforge.app. And then on the Arc Raiders section, go here and you can click upcoming events and click see all events. And then you'll be able to see when Bird City is active for you. This will be converted to your time zone. It only happens 2 times per day. So yeah, a bit of a pain, honestly. I really hope they change the way they sort of put events out, because some people won't ever be able to play this, unfortunately. Now, if you do find the chance to get into the Bird City event, it's only active on Buried City. And what you'll do is find a lot of birds' nests in all of the chimneys on top of the residential buildings. And all of these birds' nests can be looted. There are so many scattered around the map, and we'll talk about where to find them in the best spots in just a little minute. But basically, you just go and look at the chimneys. If you see there's a bird's nest inside, you can loot it. You'll need to get quite an interesting angle on some of them. So if you see one but can't loot it, try rotating around it until you can. It takes a little while to loot, so be careful. And inside, you can have a variety of items. Don't get dismayed at first, because sometimes you just get fabric and plastic. And if you do a few of these, you might think, oh, this whole thing's terrible. But there's a lot more cool loot to be found. So this kind of dud nests where you won't get any loot do happen, but other times you will get a variety of different things. The different items that can drop include trinket, fruit, recyclable items or crafting items, and the new rubber ducks. I even got some complex gun parts from here, so it's just a really random loot pool, but for the most part, you're mostly going to get trinkets, and high value ones. I got like 2 music boxes from one nest once. I got so many snow globes and Lance's mixtapes, and just by running around doing this for 15 minutes, I filled my backpack with about 200,000 in loot. So if you really need to get money, for whatever purpose it may be, this is going to be a really effective way to do it. Now, a lot of players might already have enough money and think that this is a waste of time. But remember, this is going to be a permanent event. It's kind of like Lush Blooms. So when we do the expedition, this is going to be a really great way to get some money. And also, if you still need to do the final stage of the expedition, yes, you can use all of these trinkets for the provisions section. So that's going to be really helpful there. Now, let's talk about these ducks then. As well as the default yellow rubber duck, there are now 6 new duck variants, which is pretty cool. Now, what's really exciting about this, the duck varieties have different values. So the green value have 1,000, like the normal duck. The blue rarity have 3,000. And the purple epic one have 7,000 value. And yes, they do stack up to 15, like the normal ducks. So you could get 15 of these, and it's worth 105,000 in a single space, which is crazy. The amount of value you could either store in your storage at home or stick in your backpack, which is unbelievable. Look, 10 of these flashy ducks is worth 30,000. And if you are curious, yes, they do appear in your Raider Den. All of the new ducks are all around here. It seems like the most expensive ones, the rare ones, go to the top shelf, which is a pretty cool touch. But overall, these ducks are everywhere, just like normal. Now, let's talk about a couple of strategies to finding more of these birds' nests. The more you find in a raid, the more value you're going to come out with. So it's good to kind of prepare yourself, especially because you might not be able to get much experience testing it out for yourself with the limited event schedule for this. Just bear in mind, there are so many chimneys in Buried City. So even if other players are looting them, you're still going to find a bunch. So don't worry too much. However, I would recommend bringing a snap hook, because whilst there are new zip lines connecting some of the buildings, it's just so much easier to use the snap hook. And in fact, in some cases, you'll find some chimneys on higher sections of roofs, which are just really inconvenient to get up without a snap hook or a zip line, and there's no default zip line there. So the snap hook will get you access to more chimneys that you wouldn't otherwise be able to. They'll get you moving around the map faster, and it's just far more convenient. Now, there's a bunch of bird traps on this map, much more than normal. Those are the sort of birds that fly in the sky when you walk past them, and that's a problem because they're going to alert nearby Ark, especially Rocketeers. Rocketeers really hate birds for some reason, and they get aggroed by the birds a lot. And you'll find that in this particular event, The normal Rocketeers, who are just usually chilling and not minding anyone's business, are constantly getting aggroed on nearby players, sending them into the alert state, which means they'll constantly keep trying to attack you and nearby players, and they're just constantly being alerted over and over again. So be prepared to drop in any nearby buildings to avoid the Rocketeers' attacks, or if you really want to get as many trinkets or rubber ducks as humanly possible, I'd advise bringing some wolf packs, because the Rocketeers really are quite annoying to deal with in this mode because of the bird traps. Now, whilst there are a lot of chimneys pretty much everywhere on the map, let's talk about the best sort of places. I mean, honestly, I would just kind of look at this spot here and all the way around here. Like, all of these residential areas have the birds' nests. I don't know if you're really necessarily going to find any on this side of the map. So, yeah, this section here isn't really very good to me. I mean, there's some birds' nests, but not as many as the other side. So on sort of this northern side of the map, I wouldn't really focus on that too much. If you can get down to this side first, you're going to find a lot more. And I found the most amount of chimneys, honestly, in this area here. This area is going to have the most amount of chimneys. You'll find buildings of like 4 or 5 chimneys, sometimes 6 chimneys on a single building, which is quite funny, really. So all of these have chimneys in abundance. Then this section here also does have quite a lot of chimneys as well. And then once you've looted all of that, you can come over to this section, and there will be chimneys here, but just not quite as much. Now, this isn't a 2x event, so you can bring a hatch key, and I'd really advise it, because it just means you can stay to the very end and get as many chimneys as you want, right? This event isn't around very long. You've got 2 times to do it every day, and if you can get on, you may as well make the most of it. Now, a lot of people won't like this event because it's just another way to make money, and the money you can't really do anything with, right? But there's a really cool feature about these kind of events in Ark Raiders. A portion of the players going into Bird City are definitely going to be spending their time looking for loot on the tops of buildings. Usually, those same players will be running around all of the best loot spots, contesting those containers, and that means you as a player in a traditional Buried City day raid won't get the chance to loot as many areas. But in an event like this, if you don't care about the loot from the chimneys, you have more of a chance to get the traditional loot from the best spots on the map, because there's going to be less players per match focusing on them. Some players' attention will be diverted by these extra activities. So even if you think the Bird City event is just a silly idea and you don't care about it, it's still a great opportunity for you to go and loot Buried City without having as many players contesting the best spots in the buildings, because most players will be on the rooftop. So keep that in mind. Hopefully you found this video useful, and let me know how your duck hunt goes. I'll see you all in the comments. Cheerio.